high-performance laptop that can be upgraded, repaired, and customized using just the one tool that we include in the box. In 2021, we doubled down on this promise with the 12th gen Intel Core version of the Framework laptop. And we made all of the new modules and upgrades available to existing Framework laptop owners through the Framework Marketplace. Since then, we've released new ways to customize and upgrade, things like speakers, hinges, bezels, and expansion cards. This mission and product philosophy seems to be resonating with people. We might be the only laptop maker that actually grew last year. We don't think of the Framework laptop as our product. We think of it as your product. We're just here to build an ecosystem around it for you. And we've opened this ecosystem up to the community as well with open source documentation and reference designs. The results have been beyond anything we could have expected. We've seen developers and creators make incredible projects and products using Framework modules. To pick a few, Peng Chen developed a round terminal with a Framework laptop mainboard inside. Richard Sutherland created this insanely cool cyber deck that's actually handheld and portable. And just last week, a company called Orbit Research released a Braille laptop that's powered by a Framework laptop mainboard. We have a demo of this later. It is just totally mind-blowing. All of this creativity fuels and inspires us to keep going. Most consumer electronics products degrade over time, but we actually build ours to improve over time. So of course, the first thing that we're sharing today is our next set of major upgrades. We've been listening to your feedback and really focused on improving the day-to-day lived experience of using a Framework laptop. To help demonstrate what we've done, I'd like to introduce Anne Reed, our lead visual designer. Anne's been tearing apart her 12th gen Intel Core Framework laptop to get ready for her next set of upgrades. You might think that this is some kind of ploy where we use a non-engineer on stage here to open up the laptop to show how easy it is. But actually, Anne is the reigning champion of our internal speed repair competitions, and we only have this venue for a short time, so we wanted the fastest person we could get. So the first and probably most obvious upgrade we have for you is that we're moving to Intel's latest and greatest 13th gen Intel Core processors. With this upgrade, we're extending on the same great ecosystem that we have today with the Framework laptop. That means we have the same minimal aluminum chassis that's just 16 millimeters thick and 1.3 kilograms, made of recycled materials to the greatest extent that we could. And we're also keeping our expansion card system with 4 slots that let you choose the ports that you want on each side. Now, for the first time, we're actually Thunderbolt 4 certified on all 4 ports right from day one. That means that you can plug in eGPUs and other high-speed peripherals. With 13th gen Intel Core, we're offering 3 CPU configurations with up to 6 performance cores and 8 efficiency cores. We've kept support for up to 64 gigs of user-upgradable DDR4, and this enables a super easy upgrade path for any existing Framework laptop customer. 13th gen Intel Core offers both improved performance and better efficiency, enabling longer battery life. We didn't stop there, though. To make battery life even better, we've developed a new 61 watt-hour battery. This uses exactly the same form factor as our current 55 watt-hour battery. With lithium-ion chemistry improvements, we've been able to get that extra 11% of capacity. This means that any existing Framework laptop owner can open up their laptop, swap in that new battery, and get access to better battery life. We've also kept a focus on longevity, with 80% capacity typically still available after 1,000 usage cycles. With 13th gen Intel Core, the new 61 watt-hour battery, and improvements we've made in software and firmware, you can expect to see 20 to 30% improvement in battery life across a range of real-world use cases across both Windows and Linux. Next, we've revamped the 13.5-inch display. We've kept that same great 3:2 aspect ratio, excellent for productivity, coding, browsing Reddit. We've also kept the same screen resolution and the same color gamut and contrast ratio. The one thing that we have done is change that top layer to have a matte surface, making it usable across a broader range of lighting conditions. There are two other changes that we're introducing. One is that we've redesigned and revamped our hinges to enable greater rigidity while still allowing one-hand opening. We've also moved to louder speakers. These are actually the same speakers we put into the Framework Laptop Chromebook edition that we partnered with Google on last year. Since first launching the Framework Laptop, we've offered both pre-built configurations that come ready to go out of the box with Windows 11, and the Framework Laptop DIY edition, where you can assemble it yourself on day one, bringing your own memory and storage if you'd like, and your preferred operating system, whether that's Windows or Linux. We've written guides and provided support around Ubuntu, Fedora, Manjaro, Mint, and other distributions, and we've seen the community using a broad range based on their preferences. We've also been providing early hardware to maintainers and developers at these core distro partners to make sure that support can be as smooth as possible. With 13th Gen, we're also enabling even deeper customization on the DIY edition. Now, at order time, you'll be able to select your bezel color. This year, we'll be introducing a range of new colors, starting with a new transparent bezel. You'll also be able to select from a range of different keyboard languages, as well as both clear and blank keyboard options right at order time. That means that you can get exactly the laptop you want right from day one, instead of needing to go back into that Framework Marketplace and pick up a module later. We're opening up pre-orders on the 13th Gen Intel Core Framework Laptop today at our website, frame.work, starting at $849 for DIY edition and $1049 for pre-built configurations. Just like before, a fully refundable $100 deposit is all you need to get your place in line. The first batch of 13th Gen Intel Core Framework laptops will be shipping this May, just 2 months from now. We're shipping to all of the countries that we're currently available in. And this year, we're actually adding 4 more countries. That's Spain, Italy, Belgium, and Taiwan. For these new countries, we'll be opening pre-orders this summer, and we'll start shipping soon after. In keeping with our product philosophy, if you're a Framework laptop owner already, and I hope you are, you can pick up any of the modules that we've just announced this spring in the Framework Marketplace, along with any other part of the Framework laptop. All you need to do those upgrades is that one tool. With this, you have the power to upgrade whenever you'd like and customize the product to suit your needs, meaning you can use it longer and make it more personal to you. And these upgrades are so quick and so easy that we've actually just done them live on stage. This is now a 13th Gen Intel Core Framework laptop. Thank you, Anne. As we release all these new modules, we want to ensure that we're not unintentionally encouraging the creation of e-waste. That would go totally against our mission and our philosophy. So we've come up with ways to reuse modules. Last year, we released an open source design for a 3D printable case. We know that most of you don't have 3D printers in your bedrooms like we do. And so we've decided to make this much, much easier this year. We've partnered with Cooler Master to create the new Cooler Master mainboard case. This can turn any Framework laptop mainboard into a standalone computer. It's a slim, minimal design that comes with an included stand, but can also be mounted to a monitor using a VESA mount. This case will be available this spring on the Framework Marketplace for $39. It's compatible with all of the Framework laptop mainboards that we've released so far. We're also releasing documentation today on GitHub to enable reuse of the display and battery modules. We've prepared a proof of concept of a battery enclosure that actually reuses the Framework laptop battery. So you can take that old battery, if you're doing a battery upgrade, drop it into this case, and be able to use it as a USB-C power bank to power a phone, a laptop, or really any other device. There's one other major way that we're expanding the Framework laptop ecosystem. If you've been following our community over the last couple of years, you've seen one question come up more than any other. If you're watching this live stream right now, you've probably seen it scroll by a few hundred times. The question has always been AMD when? I'm happy to announce the AMD-powered Ryzen 7040 series Framework laptop. From the outside, it looks exactly the same as every Framework laptop we've released. That's totally deliberate. It uses the same chassis. It interoperates with the same set of modules. This means that all of those improvements that we shared today, that matte screen, the higher capacity battery, the new hinges, those are all coming to the Ryzen-powered Framework laptop too. The magic is all on the inside with an AMD-powered mainboard, up to 64 gigs of user upgradable DDR5, and a new AMD-compatible Wi-Fi 6E radio. We'll be sharing more performance details and specifications soon. We're opening pre-orders today on the Ryzen-powered Framework laptop with the same starting prices and that same fully refundable $100 deposit required. Both Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 configurations are available, and of course, we also have both pre-built and DIY edition. We're building guides to enable Linux users as well. The first batch of Ryzen-powered Framework laptops will start shipping in Q3 of this year. We have a hunch that a lot of you want this product, so we've actually scaled up our servers today to handle the load. It's really never been a better time to be a notebook user with two great CPU options available. Intel 13th Gen and AMD Ryzen 7040 series. The choice is finally yours. You might be thinking, that's a lot of cool announcements. Framework's been pretty busy, but we're not done yet. We called this event Next Level for a reason, and to explain why, we've prepared a quick video for you.
Ready?
Right on cue. Wait, you can do that?
We've taken everything great about the Framework laptop and brought it into a new high-performance 16-inch form factor, the Framework Laptop 16. Just like the... Sure, feel free to clap. I'll clap too. I'm excited. Just like the Framework Laptop 13, every part of it is replaceable, upgradable, and customizable using a single tool that we include in the box. If you love the Framework product philosophy, but you need more performance, this really is the product for you. The Framework Laptop 16 has a slim, minimal metal enclosure, but enough power for gaming, productivity, and creation. It's powerful enough to play intense games, but flexible enough to be exactly the product you need it to be. What we're sharing today is an early preview to let developers get started with the 3 module ecosystems that make up the Framework Laptop 16. The first is the expansion card system that we're bringing over from the Framework Laptop 13, now with 3 cards on each side. If you looked closely earlier, you might have noticed that there's no headphone jack on the Framework Laptop 16. Instead, we're introducing a new audio expansion card with a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You might be thinking, why? Why would Framework do such a thing? It really comes down to one word, courage. The courage to move on and do something new that betters all of us, and our team has tremendous courage. So much courage, in fact, that you can actually have as many headphone jacks as you want. The next module system we're introducing is the new expansion-based system. This enables high-performance, modular, discrete graphics that can be upgraded independently of the rest of the laptop. This allows both generational upgrades of GPUs and the ability to choose between integrated and discrete graphics within the same laptop. This is truly the holy grail of high-performance notebooks. It's something that many have chased after, but were unable to achieve. So we very, very carefully studied what went wrong in the past and made sure not to repeat those mistakes. Instead of burying a graphics card deep within a notebook, we've designed for as much flexibility as we possibly could. Expansion bay modules can extend in both depth and thickness, giving us immense flexibility to handle generational changes in mechanical, electrical, and thermal requirements for GPUs. Expansion bay modules are actually independent enough that they can be used outside of the framework laptop. We're showing a proof of concept today of an eGPU enclosure that you can drop graphics modules into to use them outside of the framework laptop. That means you can plug them into a framework laptop 13 or any other Thunderbolt 4 or USB 4 host. Even better, the expansion bay interface we've developed is so flexible that you can actually use arbitrary high-speed, high-power peripherals inside of it. That means things like card readers, video capture devices, AI accelerator chips, extended batteries, and the list goes on. The capabilities of desktop add-in boards within the form factor of a laptop. As a reference, we've developed a dual M.2 SSD riser card that lets you add up to an additional 16 terabytes of storage to your framework laptop. We're releasing designs for this interface today under open source licenses to let developers get started creating expansion bay modules. We can't wait to see what you all come up with. There's one final new system. When we started doing research around a larger screen notebook, one question that came up was numpad or no numpad. We ran some surveys and we found that there's almost exactly a 50-50 split between people who love numpads and need numpads and who hate numpads and will never ever buy a laptop that has a numpad in it. Let's do a show of hands in here. Who here loves numpads? All right, and who hates numpads? It is almost, you can't see the room here, but it is almost exactly a 50-50 split between the two. It's like magic every time. So we decided to let people choose. And if we're choosing between a numpad or no numpad, why not be able to choose all of your input? So to enable that, we created the input module system that allows for complete customization of the input deck. Want a numpad? You can have it. Don't want one? You can center your keyboard and have modules to the left and to the right. Want an RGB keyboard? That's an option. If you're a Linux diehard, you can take out that keyboard and put in one with a super key on it. And this is just the start. We're opening this ecosystem up to developers too and releasing open source reference designs. We have a few concept modules on hand, like a secondary display and an LED matrix. We're also enabling customization at a software level. Most of the input modules that we've developed use a Raspberry Pi RP2040 microcontroller along with QMK keyboard firmware. We're releasing our modifications on GitHub to give developers a head start. We are so excited to see the insane and incredible things the community will come up with. Synth pads, scroll wheels, sliders, the sky is the limit, and that 3.9 millimeter height constraint. All the documentation for expansion cards, the expansion bay system, and input modules is available and open source today on GitHub to let the developer community get started. Pre-orders for the Framework Laptop 16 will open later this spring and will start shipping towards the end of this year. We'll be sharing more as we continue to develop, and you can follow along the progress on our website, frame.work. Okay, that really is actually it this time. So we have the Framework Laptop 13 now available with both 13th gen Intel Core and AMD Ryzen 7040 series options pre-orderable today on our website. We have a range of upgrades for new and existing Framework Laptop owners. We have new ways to reuse your modules. We're expanding to more of the world. And of course, we've previewed our next major product, the Framework Laptop 16. And we really are just getting started as a company. We've been around for a little over 3 years. We've been shipping products for less than 2 years. We've got a lot ahead of us. Normally, the focus of consumer electronics companies is the product. It's the launch moment. It's the perfect renders. It's the carefully rehearsed keynote. That's not what it's about for us. It's not about this. It's not about any of this. It's about what happens out there, the messiness of the real world, the creativity of the community, the magic that happens when you give people the power to truly own their devices, building products to last, championing the right to repair, enabling developers. We want to bring this philosophy everywhere. We look around this room, we think about the devices that you all have in your bags, in your pockets, and we see immense opportunity. Thank you all for the support and belief in what we're doing, and we can't wait to build a better consumer electronics industry together.